Hey, welcome to the 167. This week we're talking about our exciting groundbreaking service this weekend. We're also talking about Nickelback, quarterback, and giving back to our community. Welcome to the 167. Hey, welcome back to the 167. We have a special episode for you here today. We're going to talk about Groundbreaking Sunday.
Yes, we are.
Sweet. Breaking the ground. I'm here with the groundbreaking master of ceremonies, Rick George.
Thank you. I don't know what that means, but keynote speaker, master of ceremonies,
Lead shovel.
Lead shoveler.
ring master,
I like it.
whatever.
And with me also is Jake. I was the lead singer, but not the lead shoveler outside the
true.
corner of the building.
I was grateful.
Yeah.
I didn't have to do anything that might possibly make me sweat. You know, I could just mildly glisten that day.
Jake, the glistening Reeves.
I'm kidding.
But so
Yeah, it was a good Sunday.
it was a fantastic Sunday. We're really glad if you came out to join us. We are really thankful that you came out and did that. It was a fantastic time. If you did not come out and join us, we hope that you joined us on the live stream.
Yeah, or you can go to our New Life Facebook site and you can see some pictures. Right?
Sure. Yep.
Are
you
they
can go
any-
to
are there
Facebook, Instagram.
Yeah, so-
we'll have pictures up there, and then I imagine probably this Sunday we'll at least show a couple. You know, just to do a brief recap and everything.
Yeah.
And
I can confirm to you, because I was just on Facebook, that if you actually go to our Facebook page, you can do, what are the pictures called where if you swipe it, it changes perspective?
oh yeah, Pastor Rick just posted one of those.
Yeah,
he did.
That's pretty neat.
I did just see that.
Yep,
So
I did.
yeah,
I don't know exactly what that technology is called, but it's witchcraft.
It's a secret.
yeah. That fun fact. Oh,
yeah,
sorry.
if you take a Nickelback song and play it backwards, it'll tell you how to
It
do
says, Groundbreaking Sunday.
Yeah.
Oh no. We were having a long discussion about Nickelback before this recording. Just
If you want to weigh in the
FYI.
comments, my assertion is that everyone secretly likes Nickelback, because if I say you like Nickelback and you're like, I don't like Nickelback, I'll be like, well, what about this song? And you'd be like, well, that song.
I think they are the band that if their song comes on, you're not hitting skip, but you're not going out of your way to go play that song.
It's everybody's junk fast. It's
You're gonna sing it if
Music
it
junk
comes
food.
on, you know, at a bar and grill, Buffalo Wild Wings or whatever it is.
you're gonna get on the table and sing it. But apparently, if you run it backwards, it says, instead of it's like never made it as a wise man, if you run it backwards, it's like we're gonna go to the groundbreaking.
Yeah, something like that.
Oh, that's excellent.
Yeah, it's exactly what I was thinking. Anyway, we probably should go.
All right. Well, Nickelback did not appear at the groundbreaking.
No, they did not.
But
No,
we had
no.
some worship. We prayed. Tell me a little bit about what were some of your favorite moments from the groundbreaking.
Just as I watched, as it got close to starting time and people parking in what's going to be the new parking lot, and then watching people just stream in through what will be the front door, and we had it all marked out and it's still kind of mapped out, roped off with the dimensions and the outline of the building. So just watching people come in to the space where they will be coming in, that was pretty cool. I like that. A few conversations that I had with people were pretty cool. Like, wow, this is a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. And it does seem pretty big, and you're only seeing one floor
Right.
where half of the building will be 2 stories. So it's bigger than even the footprint of what we're seeing. So yeah, it was just cool watching people like park on the west side of the building, and then when they had to walk all the way around to come in,
were
through
like,
the front entrance, they're like, man, that's a long walk. I'm like, yeah, it gives you a little perspective.
We'll get our steps in.
I'd like
Yeah.
to start the rumor now already that there are going to be secret passageways and stuff underneath the building.
yeah.
So that's even
tunnels?
even how much larger it's going to be are the Nicolas Cage National Treasure tunnels that we're putting underneath.
There will be underground tunnels right into Quick Trip.
I don't know.
Pop
I don't
up.
know why you were like Nicolas Cage. I was thinking the Rat King from Ninja Turtles.
We
I don't
were
know why I
going
instantly went
different
there.
directions with that, but
Jake, would you say that the second story is what makes it larger than life?
Yeah.
That's what makes it larger than life. Or what was your takeaway? That makes
yeah, we're just
Okay.
diving back into music right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was It was really cool. Which like it is so funny because I had a couple people, from the worship team come there like, man, is it just first off, it is awesome to get it and just see like the entire church body there. Yeah. But they're like, was it just so awesome to be able to lead worship for them? Like, actually, when you're in a flat field like that, like old theater things and were built like amphitheaters to magnify sound. We're in an open field where sound just dissipates. Like I could not hear anybody else out there, which
and what,
but it was still really cool.
Another thing that did not help, which I struggled with, is the wind was at our back if you're on the stage.
Oh, yeah.
So it was blowing, even the sound that you could hear from the side speaker, it was like pushing it all away from me. And there
As
were
an
times,
audience member, I loved it.
yeah,
And
so I'm sure people heard well, but as I was talking, it was like, I'm not sure if the microphone works right now because like a gust of wind would come up and I really couldn't hear anything. So yeah, it had its challenges, but fortunately, we're going to put up walls in the new buildings.
Are we?
That is
that is one of the benefits.
We're not doing a giant screened-in porch.
I mean, if we just go like stadium style, where it's just open to the sky,
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
That would be awesome.
Or just
about twice a year.
Giant bubble dome.
Well, but I mean, to your point, I think it was awesome to see, like you said, people parking where they're going to park, the doors where they're going to be, like it was just kind of this like cool get a feel for it, because we went out to the field and looked at it and I was like, I don't know about that. Like, I can't see it. And then like when you saw everybody join hands and go around the building, it puts it in perspective about like, it gives us to scale where someone is standing in it. And I'm like, oh, this is going to be good.
Yeah. Again, another cool thing was a number of people were asking, so where's this going to be? And so like we were taking them on tours
of the field
of the building that is not there. So it was like a virtual tour of, if you can just envision right here, a 2-story gymnasium, and here's the entryway, and the coffee shop's going to be over here, and it's like, oh, this is awesome. And you couldn't see anything really physically, but the cool part was people began to see, like through casting vision, began to see kind of spiritually what was going to be, not what it was.
Right.
Yeah. So that was a pretty cool experience. And we had, I don't know, 600 people. It's hard to count, when people are just roaming through a field.
It was somewhere between 550 and 1,000.
Exactly.
Yes.
So in rough numbers. And so we knew that it was a holiday weekend. So people, might be at the lake, might be taking advantage of a long weekend and taking a little trip or whatever. So we knew that was a challenge, but we wanted to do it on a day that was, one, going to be kind of a memorable day, and it wasn't going to interfere with any of the construction process. Once we get everything signed off on and the bulldozers hit the ground, well, now we can't do it. So so we took advantage of it. 600 people came. It was pretty incredible.
The joke is on the people who went to the lake rather than come to the prayer session, because we had our own lake there.
We did have our own lake there.
And it was kind of cloudy and cool, so you really couldn't enjoy the lake. But we did have a little retention.
Just a little area where water was standing, but it was off to the side.
To be honest, I always feel like we are highly favored because, we're like, oh man, this could be hot. It could be sunny. The planes are going to be out. It's going to be like fun. And then we come out there and I did not sparkle in the sunlight. We had some good overcast. It was chilly, and the sun just slowly came out. So by the end of it, it was kind of warm, but like,
the sun came out just about the time.
There were no planes flying overhead.
It misted for a second, and I was getting super nervous just because we had all of our own tech out there.
Yeah. That was this God going, wait, do you need a cooling tent? Oh, no? Okay, all right.
Yeah, but then it disappeared, and it was awesome.
Everything, all of our staff, pastors, all of our volunteers, like everybody, just pitched in, and I won't say flawless, but I'm sure there were things that we could catch and nitpick. But
would you say clawless?
No, but I would say it was nearly flawless. Like it went off very, very smoothly. So nice job to all of our volunteers, pastors, everybody who served. It was awesome.
Well, and we got a chance to see a little bit of history. Like when you took us through that, when you called up the elders, we talked about Bruce and Pam.
Yep.
who have been here since you got here. and
Yeah, since before, man, they've been here, since the beginning of, or near the beginning of what was the Blessed Hope Church, back in like 1980-ish, 82. So Bruce and Pam, they are foundational pillars of this church. And now, heading into retirement and traveling a little bit to see family, they're in and out.
I always think they're
Love those guys.
That's easy to remember pivotal dates because I teach the history class, which is step 1, which you should sign up for this week if you have not yet. Because 1981 is when this building was built. We're in the Kids World building,
Yep.
and that's when I was born.
Yeah.
So this building is as old as I am.
Nice.
And so 1981, and then you came on in 2000.
Correct.
And
At
so
the very end of I got about 3 weeks of 2000 in, and then we hit right into 2001.
So if anyone's ever wondering how long has Pastor Rick been in New Life, I'm always like, whatever 2000 and
It's
Yep.
very
That's how
easy.
many.
Like honestly, if you
It
if
is.
you came any other time, I'd never remember how long.
I'd be
you've
like,
been
I don't
here.
know.
He's been here a while.
Have you ever
So-
seen that reel though where the guy says, he goes, "What year were you born in?" 2000 and whoa,
Why?
that's a compound sentence, my brother.
Yeah.
What?
Yes. So anyway, the groundbreaking was pretty cool. I was kind of flashing back a little bit to the groundbreaking we had on our current worship space that took place back in 2005, I believe, is when we had the groundbreaking ceremony.
How are those similar and how are those different?
This was much larger.
Yeah.
But we did similar things. So we outlined kind of the building, somewhat like it would be, but we weren't really sure. It was in the winter, so there was snow on the ground.
How did you get the
So-
shovels in?
So I just went out and took a snow shovel and did a close proximity of the outline of the building. Not really sure. And then, we put some dirt on the ground and had shovels and because the ground was completely frozen. And
I was gonna say that in my mind, it's like the cartoon where you hit the pickaxe and he hits a rock and he just
Yeah.
vibrates.
Bing.
so
We claim this land.
similar in that 2005 there was a lot of passion, a lot of excitement. There was a buzz about, man, I can't wait to see things start to happen here. Similar to today, what happened on Sunday, excitement, a genuine passion about getting things going and seeing some progress.
And we
So-
actually have quite a few families that are still here at New Life that have
Yes.
witnessed both
Yes.
Yeah.
groundbreakings.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's a testament to our church family, to what God is doing here at New Life. That some churches, they don't get to a place where they're able to add on or build anything new. We have been blessed tremendously, and this will be our second building project. So I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And there are a number of people that have participated in both of them now. So
And it's going to be really interesting. I know this really isn't a question, but to think about for a lot of people now that have stepped out there, they probably will not step back on that property till open house.
yeah.
Like, I'm not saying they're not welcome to drive by and
Yeah.
pray and everything, but a lot of it is going to be because here, every single day you came into church, you
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
saw what was happening.
Yeah, and then
And so-
some of the differences is there were a couple of Sundays where we could not have church service here because of the construction, and we couldn't get in the parking lot. Like it was just a mud pit and construction vehicles everywhere, and had snowed or rained. And there was one Sunday I remember that we went ahead and had church, and people were getting stuck in the mud. And then like the next week we had to we're not going to be meeting. We just can't do it. So you're going to have to go over there to keep tabs.
Yeah. Which we'll
Yeah.
you
We'll have
know,
some video
We'll
and-
release videos like once steel and everything starts going up. We'll try to do probably
Yep.
every 2 or 4 weeks, just
I
something
demand
short.
a time lapse from day one until
Yeah.
It's on my not maybe like an everyday time lapse thing, but it is on my thing of some
Could we do like a live
ideas.
thing, like the eagle, like watching the baby eagle in a nest? Could we do that same thing and just watch
it's like a live cam, like
Yeah,
the
like a
giraffe
live
cam.
cam.
You know,
and-
I'll put this on recording right now that I submitted whenever that was. Do you remember when I sent in that thing that I'm like, hey,
I don't remember.
There's this whole setup it's like a solar cam for like $1,200, and we just mount it to a tree out there, and then it takes photos every so often.
If anybody wants to invest $1,200 into a solar
To
cam.
see a really sweet photo, that would
like,
be awesome.
This ad brought to you by Jake Reeves.
You cannot tell me where it is because it's. Have you ever seen those videos where it's like
Yes.
people go out, they find trail cams and
I
like
know
go do
it
weird
would be
stuff?
bad.
Yeah.
I would.
No.
I would want to do it. No, but so we're going to build this building. What are some of the things inside of it that you guys are really excited about, vision-wise, like what it does for our church or what it does for our community? What are some of the features of the building? Because we always say this isn't about a building. The building helps us facilitate ministry. What are some of the things that you're excited about as we move into that new phase and that new location that we're going to be able to do for our church family and for the community?
So for me, it's having a larger space to accommodate more people. And why that's important is just this week, somebody had called and was asking if we would be willing to partner with them in doing something in conjunction with like Fellowship of Christian Athletes or something to bring
Like hosting.
yeah, that we would host it and partner with them. So we would provide, some guidance on the ground, and we would have a space to meet in. And they proposed like maybe we could do like a father-son event and bring in some professional athletes, the Christians that share their testimony to build relationships with, fathers and sons, or, maybe it's just a more general, speaker, a Christian speaker from the sports world to come in. And that was kind of their heart and what they wanted. And I'm like, I would love to do that. I'm not sure that our current facility is conducive to invite our entire community. But, we move into the new space and we have not only, 750 seats in a sanctuary, but maybe an overflow area in Kids World that can seat another 150 people, or that we have a lot more options. So that's exciting to me. We turn away a lot of things, like some high profile like funerals or civic events that just bring people into a building that accommodate, a need or.
Well, and when we say that, I just want for our listeners, when we say it's like a high profile thing, it usually means that like a child or a high school student has died and the community wants to grieve and they've got to go to Olathe to do it.
Exactly. And so this would give our community a space where, it's available. They can stay right here in Gardner. So that's important. Plus, it is just going to be a really good space for us as a church to welcome people in, to help them know God, to go on this journey with them so they can find freedom. We'll have classrooms where we can instruct them to discover their purpose and equip them to then go out and make a difference in the world. And so that's our heart, and it gives us more opportunities to do that, or opportunities to do it a little more effectively.
What about you, Pastor Jake? What are you excited about?
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited about that because the number of times, even like we say no to a lot to larger things, but the number of times we say no just because our building's booked, it's it's a lot. I don't think people realize how many times there's ministry opportunities or an opportunity just for building use where it would minister to somebody that we just have to say, I'm sorry, no, because either we have weekend prep going on, we can't really spread out very well in our current building. So it really has to, it's a puzzle piece, putting a week together. And so I'm excited that we're going to get a little bit more of that. I am excited, a lot of for the base stuff, just that like our children's spaces are going to be larger.
Yeah.
And that is a major, major pain point on Sundays. I know, just depending how parents make it on the weekend, you might get just overloaded in pre-K, or there's just some crazy times. And so we're going to be able, I know Pastor Nick's excited about splitting out ages a little bit more, where you've got, and then you even have less of a spread of ages together, which is going to be great. Then obviously in my world, I'm excited. There's a lot of things that we're, with our current building, that I know we've had conversations with Pastor Rick, and where they just never dreamed that we'd be where we are.
Yeah.
Right.
And so we have a lot of limitations in what we can do, both in person and through our stream.
Exactly.
There's just, I think the live stream and what we produce it's good.
It's one of the best in the area.
But it's very limited with what we have to work with, and so we had to make a choice. Do we invest a lot into this building to make the quality really high and it be a very short-term investment, or do we start looking long-term into the new building and then just gear up for that?
Yeah.
And so,
So we're gonna have a video production suite, which is a needed thing for that. That's gonna be a common thing, and just a backstage area for people. I know people think we have a backstage right now, but it's literally a hallway that you just walk back there and then come out. And just a lot of things that for my side on weekend service is going to make a lot of stuff flow much smoother, make it better on volunteers. A lot of infrastructure things that we're really trying to ask, what's the church that we're going to be in 10 to 15 years?
right.
Well, and those are things that I don't think people really think of when they think about a church building, where it's like we have a certain number of fuses and electricity.
Yes, absolutely. like we looked at getting an LED wall for our current building, not because it's the flashiest, but honestly,
You see better.
you see better. Projection technologies going out. That's not really what churches are using anymore. And it was going to be such a headache. We were going to have to bring electricians in and like move a bunch of service around to try to do it. And we're like, okay, let's not do it in this building.
So what we're doing now, and even conversations within the last week or so, of what do we do to make this projector work until we move, and it's going out, we're having complications, and do we invest in
Finding
another
stopgaps
another $2,000 projector to match that one, or do we buy 2 new projectors so they're matching projectors? And it's like all of those things are just, you think, well, do we need them? Well, yes, we do, to do church and to provide what people have grown accustomed to having the experience. Yes, it is.
Because it's one thing where somebody says, oh, do we really need that? And then they'll come up and go, well, the words are blurry and I can't read them.
I'm like, the second the lyrics aren't on the back wall or the sermon points are up, people are going to be like, hey, why isn't this working?
Exactly.
And I'll be like, that's why. Yeah. But how about you?
I'm looking forward to a lot of things. Like I said, kind of that where we've ventured into, I feel like right now we're kind of dipping our toes in some few areas. Like Cam is doing the youth conference. We did the marriage conference. Like there's areas that we're dipping our toes into that we know right away we have to cap this, like because we can't expand. And so even as something as simple as like at the marriage conference, we're trying to figure out how do we maximize our breakouts, because if we teach more breakout, like we have 3 classrooms. So if you teach 6 breakouts, you only get to teach it one time. It's just that kind of thing where it's like having more classrooms, having more space, like you said, to spread out, allows us to do more and more creative things to push us into the future to help not just our church, but regionally, like other churches and bring them in and supply, like we're some smaller churches here in Gardner, hey, come do our marriage conference with us, where we couldn't do it on our own. But we can provide the space for that.
And one of the things that I think we do a pretty good job of here is in the area of hospitality. Okay? So hospitality is one of the things that's listed in Scripture. It's a spiritual gift, and it's something that leaders are encouraged to be hospitable and invite people in. And so as we invite people into our church, our First Impressions team does a good job of welcoming people, but it is a challenge because they're coming in.
We have 3 different entrances.
And they're 2 ends of the building and in the middle of the building. And so one of the things that excites me is there will be one central location where everybody comes in. They'll be greeted and welcomed and made to feel at home. If they're brand new, it'll just be an easy step over to a check-in area, and then there'll be a room with double glass doors.
Double glass doors. Look, do you guys, our 167 audience, you have no idea. We're putting in so much stuff for you, our online family. That way we can help the stream. The one thing that I asked for in this building is double glass doors, and Pastor Rick and Pastor Kevin pulled it off for me so that there's a room when you walk in that will be a hospitality room that if you want to invite your friends, They can come into the VIP area, meet a pastor, and they can see through the doors to know exactly where
it
that is.
doesn't secretly go anywhere. It's just
No.
a small closet, but it has double.
Let me clarify. They are solid wood doors with a glass picture painted on the front of it.
like Wile E. Coyote.
Dang it.
So, I mean, that's exciting to know that we can welcome people in and show them hospitality and make them feel comfortable and at home and invited into a space to break down some of the barriers, that they would have coming in, and then usher them into a sanctuary where they can sit, hear God's word. And
there's a nursing mom's room in our new building, which has been a huge challenge for us.
Oh man, that has been tough.
So just a lot of things that are going to make what we do well, we're going to be able to do them even better with more excellence.
Yeah. So be watching for that, guys. It's about a 9-month project, so about this time next year.
They said 300 days once they get bulldozers on the ground. I don't know when that's going to be. Hopefully in the next 3 to 4 weeks, there will actually be bulldozers on the ground. But
what if they're hover?
What's that?
What if they're hover dozers?
Hover dozers.
But then it's 300 days from start to finish of that. So
if it runs flawless.
Yeah. So next July-ish, August, we'll be able to move in and give us plenty of time to get everything working well and comfortable so we can roll into the Christmas season and celebrate Christmas in our new facility in 2023.
So for maybe some new listeners out there, maybe listeners that we have that don't actually go to New Life, how can they get involved financially in helping us do this?
Go to the website, and there's a link there for Move. It'll give all the information about who we are, what we're doing, what the initiative is about, a little bit of a history, and then you can give right there. We do need people to partner with us financially because we have counted the cost, and the cost is really expensive. But it's really not that expensive if everybody shoulders the load. It's a no-brainer. So we do need everyone to jump in and say, I'm willing to commit over the next couple of years to make this happen.
If you are looking direct to give, you can go to newlifegardner.com/give.
Yep.
You can also download our app and go to the Give tab, and you can set up a reoccurring gift, give digitally, or you can just come on down to New Life and slip an envelope in the offering box, which are located in the back.
And if you have a rich uncle that just wants to invest in something kingdom-minded, and it's like, I've got some money and I would love, to
or
invest
rich
it.
Aunts,
Or rich aunts.
Aunts. Sorry, they're probably aunts.
Whatever. So, no, it's...
aunts and uncles.
Yep. So we're moving forward. We're excited.
Well, fantastic. We hope you guys follow us. Join us on social media. Join us on YouTube. We'll be giving you updates as we go along, and this next year is going to be very exciting. We'll see you guys here next time on the 167. If you enjoyed this episode of the 167, make sure you like, subscribe, follow, get notified, leave a 5-star rating and a positive review. Tell all your friends to listen as well. Make sure you go over to newlifegardner.com and check out all that we have to offer as a church, and check out our messages online as well. Thanks for listening.